Hola a todos, bienvenidos a un nuevo video para el canal. Aquí sobre de Super S4 Dankerverse que has hecho un nuevo video para el canal. Y estamos en el primer video del año de Dankerverse Impact. Nos quedan 3 días para hacer esto, así que vamos a empezar con eso de una. Vamos a ir a la presa Mountain, vamos a hacer este nuevo lore. Y ver qué ocurre. Tengo 3 días para hacer los minijuegos, así que voy a darle duro. Con respecto al banner de turno, cabe mencionar que no grabé mis tiradas porque bueno, después de Furina y todo eso, no ocurrió algo muy interesante, ¿verdad? Y ayer tampoco me metí al juego, o sea, no mentiré, ayer estuve full ace y ya está. Pero, ¿qué pasó? Tiramos al banner de la señorita Navia y la señorita Yaka, el banner de armas, y por fin sacamos la Miss Splitter. Así que aquí la tenemos. La tengo que potenciar bastante antes de cambiarla por la que ya tengo. Y cuando esté en 90, pues se la coloco a Yato y veo su rendimiento, claro. Pero bueno.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
Javier.
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. But what about my film? Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Oh.
Hey, isn't it Xavier?
¿Qué pasa, viejo?
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear traveler and
¿Cómo va todo, pana?
Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with...
The Fontanalia Film Festival?
Oh, is this your first time participating in Fontaine's The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydra. The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most...
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lille.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good... To commemorate the Loch Knights, people will imitate them by putting on special costume. But a few years ago, Lady Furina started to find the whole idea a little...
Really doesn't...
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how...
Yes, it appears I've strayed off top. The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology... During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Furina Award by the...
The what award?
The Furina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Furina was still in power, but even perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name, even though she isn't the Hydro.
Alright.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding?
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
Creo que tiene que ver con la ropa.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the events.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori.
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to her remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Ina. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her...
Who are the actors from Inazuma?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to... Judging from the time, the...
Muy bien, vamos a ver quiénes son. A la estación. Ok, vamos a trabajar con los trabajadores. Ah, no me interesa eso. Solo quiero ir al lore. Solo me interesa eso. Los minijuegos no los voy a... No los voy a poner aquí. Solo quiero ver el lore nomás. Nada más, ¿de acuerdo? El minijuego lo hago yo solo. A ver, creo que será mejor ir con la estatua de la. Pues sí. Si el juego se laguea un poco, es porque aquí ya estamos en verano. Y ya la temperatura en el ambiente está bastante fuerte, lo que hace que el teléfono se sobrecaliente más rápido. Y al estar sobrecalentado, pues se laguea un poquito las cosas, así que... Aunque ¿saben qué? Me sería mejor así, ¿no? Ya decía yo. ¿Mm? ¿Quién es?
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
La vestimenta de Navi es una
Why,
preciosidad.
thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened?
Well...
Me recuerda un poquito a
it's like
Kushina esa
this.
cara.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellence, the budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front some...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up...
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no...
What? You're saying that...
No, that's not what I mean. The actors I recommended aren't just after more...
¡Oh! Los actores, ¿ah? Está hablando que no tienen dinero para la presentación y todo eso, pero bueno. A ver... ¡No puede ser! ¡Son ellos!
And where do you live?
Momo, Ruki y Toshiro,
We
¡no!
Melusines live in Marcy Village. The only way to enter is from... Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home. We are so thoughtful. But some Melusines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
This is our stop.
Ya hemos llegado.
Oh, we've arrived. But I haven't even finished chatting with Abel yet.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that...
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on the Sakura bus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Ujú.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma. I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming
Así
from
que ellos son los
Inazuma?
actores, ¿eh?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Ajá, yo también estaba
Wow, what a
aquí.
coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film? We just ran
por
into
supuesto.
Tommy earlier and came over with him. But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Pensé que yo siempre sería el protagonista, ¿eh?
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was... So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I...
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up
Carajo.
for a meal? I've already made a reservation.
¿Qué ha pasado ahora? Me saltó algo del mismo YouTube, ¿eh? ¿Qué pasó? What the fuck? No mames. Pinche YouTube, ¿eh? Lo que me... Disculpen que me salió YouTube que está viendo. Bien. Vale, disculpen, ahora sí, continuemos.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Pues si tan amable, ¿eh? Ok, vamos allá. Si digo que anda muy sobrecalentado, solo hago la primera parte y ya. Después hago las otras dos, las junto y ya está, como siempre suelo hacerlo. Así que de eso no se preocupen.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall.
And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec. Could it be...
¿Será aquí, no? No sé por qué me anda tan sobrecalentado el teléfono últimamente, pero bueno. Maldito verano, desde esto.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew. A lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but, I'm afraid...
Oh. What is...
Cuéntenos
has
el
to do with
problema.
the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable...
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court,
Then, is there a way we could raise funds
¿No
ourselves
podría
to solve
solucionarse
the
con una
problem?
simple recaudación de fondos todo esto?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a lot.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
¿Solucionar ese problema si nosotros actuáramos de manera gratuita?
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
Oh, salió humilde el compadre, ¿eh? Ahí tienen todo lo que acusan a Yato clasista, weón.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the
Digamos que ese es
Ashiro
el
Commission
verdadero
agreed to
objetivo por el
come
que
to
estamos
Fontaine.
aquí.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all.
No diga
While
eso.
we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of
Puede ser
friendly
mejor que la
cooperation
relación
and
amistosa
cultural
entre Inazuma y
exchange between
Fontaine.
Inazuma and
Así que
Fontaine.
todo esto podría ser
It's my hope that the film
beneficioso
can
para
be
ambas
finished and released
naciones.
as smoothly as possible. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in
Así que
Fontaine's
ahora necesito que me
literary and
recomiende
artistic circles.
artistas de Fontaine.
All right, I'll do as you say.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Nosotros también
Me too.
ayudaremos.
Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't.
Ew. All right, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, so instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
All right, pull yourself together, Xavier.
All right. Let me think.
Un
We still need a
draguetivo, un
camera. I
clarista.
originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy.
Muy
Knows
bien.
what the director and the logistics support person do, but
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapperboard to record and organize
Ya
the
veo.
information of each shot. When the
a clapperboard? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever the...
Yes, that's right. Are you...
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store.
fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the traveler take the role.
¿Quién,
Oh,
yo?
he's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things
Sí,
we've
está
taken
bien,
photos
lo
of.
haré.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we were...
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Tibet and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
Pues sí.
What do you say, traveler? Are you interested in the job?
Sí, de acuerdo. Luces, Dragotipo, acción.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
Oh, bueno, creo que será mejor que vamos a trabajar
All
ya.
that's for us to find is a director?
Oh, me. I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Furina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Furina? Do you really think Lady Furina would be willing to help us?
Por supuesto, si se lo pido yo, lo haré yo.
Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she...
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance. Don't let her form or identity intimidate you. She is the best candidate we can think of right now.
fine. You're right, Shiori. Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Just leave this task to me.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider...
And don't worry,
Muy
we
bien,
won't
vamos a
simply
ver a
drop you off
Furinita.
at Furina's place.
Let's
All right,
go.
then I'll start making...
A gift for someone who was once seen as the high...
I recall that Lady Furina once fancied a clock...
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontanelli? But wouldn't that be a little too Isn't the Fontanelli festival happening right now? I heard Ava tell us on the Aquabut to do something like that. She must have...
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is...
Alright then, let's go buy some...
Ok, vamos allá.
But will that really be enough? We'll be...
You're right. We need to...
Déjemelo a mí.
You want something even sweeter than fun?
Yes. We'll need a gift that's sweet.
Well, what could that be?
¿Qué era? ¿De nosotros? De acuerdo. Muy bien, en marcha. ¿Y en la casa Furina para dónde está? Para acá, ¿no? Muy bien. De un arconte a otra se lo veis.
We're here. This is where Furina lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Coming. Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Estaba durmiendo la flojonaza.
Who are you?
Lady Furina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind
Hola.
you? And
I'm Chiori.
the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something? Did you just get up, Furina? It's already past noon, you know.
Con dulzura, Paimon, con dulzura.
Huh? Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea. No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Furina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontanalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
¿Cómo le cambiaron el ojo?
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with. Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Furina.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Mm-hmm.
We sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and he's the camera operator. Camera operator? That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
¿Por qué no lo compras con tus ojos, linda?
No, I'm not questioning your abilities.
It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If he can satisfy you with his camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about.
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards.
Como usted diga, directora Furina.
Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know.
Adelante.
Grab the camera and I'll give you...
Ok, ¿y esto cómo se hace? Ujú. Ok. Elijo esta.
Let me be honest. Do you really think you have what it takes to... You put no thought into finding a good camera angle, and the characters weren't even in the shots. I mean, I guess you could be trying to pursue your definition of the
Eso quiere decir
Does that
que...
mean you agree to be our director, Furina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanus, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know.
Qué drástica eres.
In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontanalia Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique. If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Furina?
Well, what about the pay?
Huh?
You know, how much you're willing to pay me to be the director?
Well, I can offer you this much.
What? That's all? If Nervylet were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight...
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll...
Oh, our script is an
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a number...
Oh, so Furina's read it too.
Así que así la has leído, ¿eh?
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the... It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't...
So, are you a big fan of this story, Furina?
¿Quieres participar, cierto?
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit.
Absolutely, no problem.
Entonces, ¿nos harías el favor?
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
Ja, no te lo creas tanto, que tampoco es tan necesario, ¿eh?
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
Gracias, Furina.
Oh, Hydro Archon above!
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the act... And, by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with...
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know...
Me? If this was before, Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately...
Could we ask the Special Security and Survey...
Oh, you mean the Special Patrols...
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I, don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to...
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevres.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how did...
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and in return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get...
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about asking the captain?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain, after all.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duty.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time...
Muy bien.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how...
No problem.
Having Furina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands.
You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Qué ganas que comience esto.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low...
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a...
What? So is every person in Tevat who doesn't want money gathered here?
I already knew Xavier from before.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
¿Te refieres a Shogun, verdad? Muy bien, perfecta. Ahora tenemos las dos y ya. Bien, según esta cosa, Cheverus debería estar aquí abajo, así que utilizamos esto. Bien, con eso debería llegar. Creo que llegaré a la hora y ya. No quiero llegar más allá de eso. A ver. Según esto, tengo que venir acá.
All right.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Tiene una energía bastante
I could tell
increíble.
there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
No te dejes guiar, campanita. Tú no puedes sentir la energía como yo.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so
Working? But isn't she
just trust me.
Oh, alright. Chiori sure is a mysterious person. She claimed
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where...
Reading on the job?
Leyendo el trabajo.
Detective novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching story.
I see. How's the plan?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I...
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice. Halt!
Alto ahí.
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here.
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevreuse, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper. Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room.
Muy
Take them
bien.
away, Letelier.
Llévatelos.
what's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next...
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's... Now that Vache has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers.
Ya veo.
Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a... Oh, Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't
¿Por
bother
qué no los
repeating it.
arrestaste directamente? Eres bastante fuerte, podrías haberlo hecho, ¿verdad?
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate? No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevraz. But instead, the moment I came up...
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right...
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's not...
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that?
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble...
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get...
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Furina...
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors'
De acuerdo.
Guess that's it for today, then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have...
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first...
Hasta mañana.
See you
Cuídate. Diana.
So what did you want to tell us, Chevraz?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
Más o menos.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never... However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the... The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive, and they
Ya
used
veo.
all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan. And
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Interesante.
yep, the Baron got what he deserved for his evil deed.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevraz?
You could say it was one of the
Oh,
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
¿Quieres que te ayudemos en tu caso, cierto?
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
huh? Really?
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use...
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the...
Ya
However,
veo.
Huh?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide to... I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but The more capable people we have, the better. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them
Ya
is...
veo.
I don't want people to see Mosquetes in a negative way. And also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
De acuerdo.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deed. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow...
What do you think, Traveler?
Oye, tantas
You're
cosas.
right. Paimon's getting a little tired.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Y bueno, terminamos la primera parte ya. 20 minutitos. Bueno, me ahorré todas las diarias literalmente. Qué bueno. Queda 45 minutos la primera parte. Creo que está bien por hoy. Sí, creo que por hoy está bien. Vamos a dejarlo hasta acá. Después simplemente junto todas las partes y ya. No me voy a hacer caldo cabeza, la verdad.
Ad Ast. Thank you for
Bien. Por ahora voy a dejar esto hasta acá. Como les dije, todo va a ir junto en un mismo video. Así que no voy a despedirme. Porque después va a ir todo editado juntito y bla bla bla. Y yo creo que es la tercera parte de la historia. Se me va a despedir y todo eso. Así que bueno. Voy a dejar esto hasta acá. Y continuamos con la siguiente parte.